Good. It's still morning. Good morning, everybody. It's cardiac care time. Um, well, as I said last week, massive big, massive big module. Well, disconcertingly big. I always thought that I wanted a big online group to test it out. And I think this is an instance where be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. Because it's kind of too big for my imagination in many respects. But let's take it bit by bit. Let's just calm down and take it bit by bit. First of all, good to hear from you, Lindsay. In fact, all my little chickens have been flushed out this week. I've got Lindsay on, and there's also Jayasila over there in Saudi Arabia. Hiya. Everybody's appeared. Not only that, but everyone started participating. But Lindsay, I took your short description of yourself, and I took it from the discussion area and I put it into the introductions. I hope you don't mind that. It's exactly the same stuff. Everyone will be able to see it who's on the course. And the thing that I'm interested in, by the way, everybody, including all you out there in Saudi Arabia, is why hasn't everybody sent me a little introduction? I have very little idea who you are, what you look like, anything. So send a little introduction of yourself so I can at least I've got some reference points. I can go. The only thing I've got about the vast majority of you lot is your name, your address, and possibly a little photograph. Send me a bit of an introduction. What's the cost of it? Blimey. So, and Lindsay, along with many of you, listen to this. One of the commonest messages that I get off students, not just on this course, but on other courses as well, it's, "Ooh, I'm dead sorry, but I'm not used to computers and this is all new to me." It's all new to me too. So there's, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm learning as I'm going along here, and I'm learning from you, and you're telling me stuff, and I'm learning how to do things in a new way almost every single week. So don't you apologise to me. You're, in many ways, as far as I'm concerned, you're the teacher. You're teaching me what works, what doesn't work, what students like, what students don't like. This is all novel. It's only been 5 years since anybody started putting on courses, and they're all slightly different. You know what I say about these courses? That we're in the sort of punk rock era of online education, because basically if you've got a bit of kit, you get up on stage and have a go, because the traditional teacher model where the teacher stands in front of a class and reads something out, that's had 2,000 years to perfect. This has only been 5 years. Before that there was nothing. So don't apologise to me, everyone. We are all learners here. I need you. I need to feed off you. And here's an example of what I mean, right? When I first started these courses, can I rewind a little bit? When I listen to the stuff I'm asking you to listen to, I've changed my technique entirely of recording interviews with people. Since I first started these modules, I've entirely changed my technique. So now, if I hear myself doing one of these interviews with one of the expert nurses or whatever, I cringe with embarrassment. It makes me shudder, the idea that I could have done it in that way. So I think I've got to cheat putting this stuff on for you, because to me it sounds primitive. And I only started it 4 years ago. Here's something else as well. When I first started writing these courses, I thought that the best way to get people engaged was to ask them their opinions continuously. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And what I've discovered is that actually online students feel they don't like putting their opinions out there. So what happens is, if you're not careful, you can ask for all the opinions you want, but people go really quiet, and that, for me, is the worst outcome of all. Whereas what I've discovered, and I'm discovering it, this is the clincher, yeah. This is the clincher. This year, this has been slowly building up, but this year I've gone, yes, that's it. I think multi-choice questions are the answer, because students can mark themselves. They're either right or they're either wrong, and you point them directly to where they're going to get the information from. I think that's the way I'm going to go in the future. I don't think it's very degree level stuff. In the at degree level, very rarely are things right and wrong. But on the other hand, it is some sort of engagement, and you can find out whether the students are reading the texts that you're recommending them to read. I'm getting a good response. In fact, just now, I was looking at the tests, yeah, the ECG test that I've put up. I was just looking at it, and when I clicked on the edit button, a big orange banner came up at the top and it said, "You can't edit it now. 14 people are doing this test as we speak." What? So it's clearly an activity that engages you, and it's clearly an activity that, well, I think it's an activity that's worthwhile doing. So I'm going to beef that up. Actually, that aspect of the course, I'm going to beef that up. So, for the discussion boards, well, we haven't had much on the discussion boards this week, to be honest with you. We've got Lindsay's introduction of herself, which I've copied and moved. And then there's Kath from Wigan. Hiya, Kath. And Kath put in a series of contributions on the discussion board. But frankly, it looks more like sort of Friends Reunited from Wiston Hospital, more like. It's not really on the subject of cardiac disease. It's like, love my new job, but don't half miss the crowd over at Wiston. As for the questions I actually asked for opinions on, I haven't had any. So, as for the test, the highest mark goes to Kath over there in Wigan with 170 points so far. The test has got 29 questions, as you know. Each question gets 10 marks. So the highest mark that you can possibly get is 290. So keep going until you've got it. That's my advice to you. Keep going until you've got it. Over the page. Now then, Rosalind, you sent me an email the other day to say, that you tried to get something on the discussion board and it never went up. Well, it never went up. I've been in and had a look for it, and and here's something else as well. You said, did you get my email message on the 18th? Well, I checked through all of your email messages, Ros, and nothing was sent to me on the 18th, so I don't know what's happened there. But if you are in doubt, well, first of all, the discussion board should work perfectly well for you. It's pretty easy to use. But if you are having trouble, then send me what it is that you want to put up on the discussion board as an attachment to an email, and I'll put it up there for you. Why not? It only takes me a couple of minutes. Or send it to me on Facebook. Why not? Again, it only takes me a couple of minutes. Still hardly anybody's come forward for the Facebook group, by the way. I can't even explain that. But maybe, here's something. I set up a Facebook group for a group of third-year student nurses, and there was 35 in the group. Yeah, I set up the group at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and by about 7 o'clock in the afternoon, 30 members, 30 of the 35 are already in. Now, something tells me that this might be a generational thing, that the students who tend to be younger tend to be more au fait. And what's more, if I put a message up on Facebook for these 35 students, I can tell that within about 5 minutes, half of the group have already read the message. Incredible, really. Right, so nothing showed up, Roz. I'm sorry. You're going to have to try again about that. And I can't really explain it, whether it's my end or your end. Hello to Jaya Seeley. Good to see you. Well, you can see me, but I can't see you. Good to see you. And I notice that it's Monday today and that you've just logged on. So I'm glad to see that you found your way through. So I'm at your disposal for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, I shall see you next week. Start putting contributions to the discussion in, everybody, if you don't mind.